You need to understand, whenever you are going ahead to learn anything, okay, you need to define a goal. And defining a goal is basically, you have a purpose, or you have a intention toward that. Like, intention learning should be there. It's not something like ki, I will start with learning anything and like use useless information, right? Where, because learning require time and energy that you're putting, right? And it's very hard. So if you're putting your time and energy, make sure that is invested in a right place. That why it's important to define a goal. So all of you guys, can you tell me over here, what are your goal in this month? In the chat box, what are your goals in just one sentence in the chat box? 50,000, 1 lakh, 80,000, 25k, 50k, 10k. Great. Okay, amazing. And to achieve that goal, you need to have an action, and to have that action, you should have a knowledge, tactic to implement all of that, right? So once you have defined with the goal, you need to have the action, knowledge, tactic, and like whatever the implementation that you need to take place, right? But once you have defined your goal, once you have defined your goal, you need to also make sure that you are following the things that we have taught you and telling you to go forward. So how many of you are currently writing your goal, like goal writing? How many of you are doing that? Put me in the chat box if you're doing goal writing every day. Okay, great guys, you are like literally amazing. And like you are in a 10%, 10% people out of 100, because you are doing that. And that is literally amazing. So before we go ahead, here is a quote for you guys. If you are going through, like if you are going to grow, you have to be intentional. If you are going to grow, you have to be intentional. Okay, so let's move ahead. Before you define your goal, okay, and like you have already defined your goal, right? Now it's the point of working on your why. With a simple example, I will let you know about that. Is basically, let's suppose yeah, again Pintu, you are doing the same thing. I will remove you once again if I find this. Okay, so working on your why is basically,
Sagar, sorry to disturb you in between.
yeah,
People are asking you to record the session.
yeah, I'm recording that, but I am not sure that if this is something which will be available on WhatsApp, because I have to take the permission from Vaishali itself.
I don't know. She shared it in the WhatsApp BCC group. That's why people are asking you to do
Okay,
that.
okay, then it would be shared.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
so guys, over here, what I'm telling exactly is, working on your why, I will let you know in a some simple term with an example. Okay, and it's basically like, let's suppose that there is two building, and which is at like a good distance, and one person have told you, like, if you jump from one building to another building, I will give you like millions and billions of bucks. Will you guys jump from like and one end to another end? Will you do that for billion bucks? No, right? And let's flip this example with let's suppose your daughter is there at another building, and there is a fire that is burning on that building, and you are at the opposite and you have to jump. Then will you jump? So now do you understand why it's important to have a right why or a big why? because that will make you to move, and that will make you decisive to take action. So I hope till this point you have understood everything. Are you with are you with me? WM in the chat box if you are with me. WM in the chat box if you are with me. Great. Moving ahead, whatever goal that you have, okay, let it be 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, whatever the goal that you have, okay, once you have defined that, now you need to break down into smaller steps. And how do you do that is basically, let's suppose 1 lakh is the goal. Now for that 1 lakh, how many call you have to do? So let's suppose if uh, 1 lakh is the 10,000 is the price that you are selling for, the ticket size, and 10% is the margin that you're getting. So how many sales you have to do so that you reach to 1 lakh? 100, right? And to reach that 100, what are the steps? What are the things that you have to do? Put that in the chat box. What are the steps you need to do to reach to a conversion rate of like getting a 100 conversion? 30 calls a day, 250 calls a day, minimum 100 to 150 calls per day, 10 closer per day, 100 plus calls per day, consistency. Now this is how you come up with breaking down your like goal in a smaller steps. Once you have like make it in a smaller steps, now going ahead, once you have list down all of these steps, now you identify the knowledge and skills that you need for this. The knowledge and skills that you need for this. Now let's suppose here a person is saying listening recording every day. What that required? A skill of patience. See your conversion pattern. Consistency with proper script. What that required? Now go deep into that. Like whatever thing that you have breaking down, go inside that. Until and unless you're not going in with the why, like why I'm doing this call, why I'm handling this, why I need to do this 10 call per day.